Hi everyone, welcome to Diana's Table. We're again in my new home, as you've seen from our previous video. And I don't have my new table yet. We have to wait for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to use my old table. And today I'm going to teach you how to make braised belt fish with radish. The radishes are in season right now in Korea, and this is a time when the radishes are really nice and crunchy and sweet. And also the belt fish is in season, so you may have a hard time finding belt fish in your neighborhood store, but if you go to a Japanese or Korean grocery store, I'm sure they'll have it. So let's get started. Here I have clean belt fish, and when you buy it, it's very nice and silvery, and it shows that the fish is very fresh because you have that nice silver coating. But then because of the coating, the fish can have a very distinct and very strong fishy smell. So it's important to clean the silvery skin. So take a knife and scrape the silver part from the fish. And don't worry, because it has a very thick skin, and so the flesh will not come out. This way the fish will maintain its really nice taste, but not be too fishy on both sides. So once the skin has been all scraped, you make sure you rinse it clean. Get all the other parts, drain the blood and clean it. And transfer to a paper towel. One way of choosing the right kind of belt fish is pick ones that are nice and firm and also kind of thick on the side. You don't want the really thin ones. They don't really have much flesh. So once you pat the fish dry a little bit with the kitchen towel, I'm going to transfer to a clean container, because I want to pre-season the belt fish a little bit before we start to braise it. This way you can make sure all the seasoning is well into the fish. Pre-seasoning of the belt fish, I'm going to put in a tablespoon of mirin, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, and yeondu, which is a very nice instant seasoning that you can get at the store. So it will make sure that the fish is really nicely well marinated. Belt fish can be very fishy when you touch it with your bare hands, and that smell will stay with you for a long time. So mix the seasoning and let it sit for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to make the radishes. As I said, the radishes are in season in Korea right now, and it's really nice and crunchy, but you also want to pre-cook it. And in order for us to pre-cook it, I'm going to cut it into thick-sized pieces. So I have a half a radish. I'm going to cut it into half and cut it into big chunks. Half moon shape, but kind of thick. And as we used, I don't know if you remember how we shaped the radishes, cut the corners out during the galbijim, because it prevents the radish from breaking apart. So I will round the corners a little bit to to make it nice, soft half moon. So here I have all the cut radishes with the corners cut into soft half moon. I'm going to put it into a dashi stock water and boil it for about 5 minutes. I like to pre-boil the radish because they don't cook. It takes a little bit longer for radishes to cook as opposed to the other vegetables or the belt fish. So we'll set it aside, cook for 5 minutes. While the radish is being boiling in dashi water, I will prepare the necessary vegetables. Take a medium-sized onion, yellow onion, and just slice it. A little bit thick because you're going to braise it. You don't want the onion to be too thin. And then large green onion. Cut it diagonally into a little bit large pieces. I have some green chili pepper, just use 2 to give it that spicy kick. While I'm using the minced garlic, with ginger, I'm just going to julienne it a little bit because you don't really want to be able to taste or chew on the ginger when it's ready. So just maybe cut 4 pieces and I already have the red chili pepper, 2 red chili pepper cut here. So the vegetables are ready. Now we'll make the sauce. First you need about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. I like to use the low sodium soy sauce that we made. I actually use that soy sauce all the time for everything. I have a tablespoon of mirin, a tablespoon of fish sauce, 3 tablespoons of gochugaru. You can adjust the amount of gochugaru that you use, but I like to have it a little bit spicy because spicy taste of the gochugaru will also eliminate the fishy smell. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of gochujang. Usually you don't want to add gochujang because they always say that if you add gochujang to braising, it will make the taste a little bit bitter. But then I think just a little bit, like 1 tablespoon of adding gochujang, it also makes the taste very deep, and I prefer it that way. Minced garlic, 2 tablespoons. Of course, it's a lot, but also it's good to have lots of garlic. Mix it all together, and with any sauce, we'll let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. So now I'm ready to compile all the ingredients for the final braising. I have the radishes that's been cooked in the dashi water. I'll put them in the bottom. So you layer. On top of the radishes, I'm going to stack the belt fish in a very nice and pretty way, hopefully. Don't use the sauce, leftover marinated sauce. It's very fishy. You don't want to use it. And I'm going to layer the top with onions and green onions. Don't worry, once it starts to boil, the food will go down a little bit. So it looks like it might overflow, but it won't. Green peppers. And then the red peppers. Don't forget the ginger. I cut it into little pieces, and I'm just, because I want to remove it once it's done, you have to remember which corner you put it into, right? So then in small dollops, put evenly over the stew, braise. And here I'm going to use dashi stock to fill the pan about 2/3. So we'll turn the heat on, put the cover on, Let it cook for 20 minutes and it'll be done. Now 20 minutes has passed. Let's check how it's going. Get this. Looks good. See if it's got enough sauce. And basically you just have to taste it and make sure it's I can already taste the sort of the sweet taste of the radishes, but I'm going to add maybe just a spoonful more of the sauce that we have left, just to add that final kick. Do some fresh ground peppers. The ground peppers will also chase away any kind of the last minute fishy taste that it has left. And we'll cook it for maybe 5 more minutes and finally you'll be done. Perfect, it's ready. So let's plate it. So I put it into one of my favorite dishes by artist Kim Jong-ok. She really makes beautiful modern interpretation of a very traditional Korean ceramic. And I really like using it because it also has a wooden top. Let me transfer belt fish. It's done. I like to put the belt fish onto one side. So, and the radishes, I put the radishes onto the side. And then the onions and the green onions. Here it is. Let's eat.